Hello, good morning. Just a quick update. I just wanted to update you on what I've done on the system. So now this time I think last year, if you have seen, we had challenges in terms of exporting Cashbooks and other reports into Excel. So now this year we were trying to work on something which can help us in terms of exporting the same information into Excel. So now this time, let's try to log in. So when I go to financial, and then I'll go to the login page, then you type the username, and then you put the password, and then you go to login. Right, so now this is our new page. So this is the way it looks. So if I want to export, let's say Cashbook, I have to go to master file, and then from the master file, I'll click on it, print Cashbook, and then from the print Cashbook, I have to select which Cashbook do I want to export. All right, so now from here, I'll go, let's say to what's this? This is okay. Maybe I'll just pick any account, this account, and then let's say if the period is January, I have to put 01, as we all know, and then I'll click on print. All right, so this is my cashbook. So now, mind you, there are two types of cashbooks in this system. One is the summary cashbook. So by default, the moment you just pick the account and then you put the period, it's going to load the summary cashbook. So now if you want to move to a detailed cashbook, you have to click on detailed cashbook, and then it's going to give you the detailed cashbook. The only difference between the two cashbooks, it's, if you have seen, it's this column, which is account code. So this account code, this is where the chart of account sits. Okay, and then when you take a look at the summary cashbook, it doesn't have the column for account code. So now if you want a cashbook which has got a chart of account codes, you go with the detailed cashbook. All right, so now it's up to you to get whichever the cashbook you want. So let's say if I want to get this same cashbook in PDF, I just need to go direct on print PDF. So it's going to give me the same account, which is Moense District Fund account, detailed cashbook. So the moment I click on that, and then it's going to print the same account. All right. So it's loading. All right, so that's the cashbook in PDF. So this is it. So if you have seen, we have even added prepared by, checked by, designation, date, and signature. So I'm sure not anyone has got the updated version, but just after this video, I'm going to put the same in the web server so that everyone can have the same updated system. All right, so now if you want to save, you just go there and save this cashbook. So it's going to say, okay, you are saving Moense District Fund account, which is in January. Okay, so I'll save this account if I want. Now I don't want. All right, so if I want to go back, just need to click on the arrow to go back. Okay, so that is PDF. So now if you want to export the same information into Excel, there are two things. One, you can just directly export the same information into Excel by clicking on Export to Excel button. So if I click on Export to Excel button, it's going to export the same cashbook into Excel direct from the system. All right, so now I'm saving this information. So by default, it's just going to say detailed cashbook. So if you want to rename, or if you're exporting different months, you have to rename this so that you have different names. So if I want to export this, let me just export for the sake of demonstrating. So if I save, I've saved this cashbook. So when I go to my desktop, I should find that file. So if I try to open this one, I should have the same information. Yes. So this is it. So the opening balance, the description. So the challenge with this one, with the exporting direct to Excel, it won't get the format like the way it is looking here. So it won't get the format. But if you want to get the same format, like the way it is looking on the screen right here, you have to use the copy button. So the copy button, it's either you can copy the same information and paste on any other platforms. So let's say if you are working in Excel, you have opened your blank Excel workbook where you are maybe writing a certain report, or you are doing just something else. You can still copy the same information and paste on that same platform. So let's say if it is Word, you can still copy and paste in Word. If you are working in Excel, you can still copy the same information from web, and then you paste it, the same information into Excel. So let me try to copy the same information. So this is January. And then if I try to copy, okay. So I've copied this information, and you should see this message which is coming saying table copied to clipboard successfully. If you don't see this message, just know that something is not right. Okay. So I'll go to my Excel, and then I'll open a blank Excel. And then if I try to paste, I can paste anywhere. So now when pasting, there are two things again. Into Excel, it's either you only paste the values, which is the same as using export button direct. And then if you want to get the format, and then you have to say to pick the first option, which is saying keep source formatting. So this one, it will give you the exactly format from the web system. So now from here, I'll just say yes. I'll click yes, and then I'll try to resize it so that it looks nice. And then from here, payee, let me try to resize it a bit. All right. Again, even on the amounts, maybe I can try to resize it a bit. Okay, that's nice. And then when I'm done resizing the columns, now I should also do the rows. So I'll just select everything instead of me doing one by one. And then I'll just pick one row and then double click. And then it's going to resize itself. Okay. So this is the way to copy the cashbook from the web system, which you have, into Excel. So don't even bother to say, how am I going to export the cashbook? This time it's working. Okay, and then the other export which I can try maybe to talk about is the receipts and payments. So for now, receipts and payments, let me try just to go back to take you back to dashboard. So I'll go to dashboard, and then from here, let's say if I want to get all summary receipts, I have to go on total receipts and then more info. So I'll click on it. All right, good. So it has, I'm sure it has loaded everything. So now if you take a look at this table is showing that there are only 10 entries, which is showing on this page. So now, mind you, it's up to you, whichever the data which you want to copy. You know, the system quite okay. We do make different reports. So depending on what kind of report that you are trying to make or create, it's up to you. You can still get the same information and then you start maneuver or manipulate in your own way. It's not that the system should do everything for you, no. So now, if I want to get the summary receipts, I have to go on total receipts and then I click on more info button. Okay. So now I'm here. So let's say I only want to get receipts for the month of January. It's up to me. I can still do that. So where it is saying from to, this is the date. So now if I pick the date, let's say from January, so I'll say from 1st January up to the last day of January, which is 31st January. So I'll pick like that, and then I'll go to the bank. So now again on the bank, if you want to get all the cash books, I'm saying all the cash books, you have to select this all cash book. And then the moment you just pick all cash book, meaning it's going to get every transaction for the month of January for all the cash books. Now, let's say if I want to get or if I want to specify the account, let's say, okay, I don't want everything, but I only want to get for district fund account. So I'll select district fund account and then I'll click on search. All right. So now this is telling me that from January 1st January up to 31st January for the district fund account, there is only one transaction, okay, which is that amount. So now let's try to get for all the accounts, or maybe one account which has got more transactions. Let's try to get maybe from local revenue. Oh, okay. So now again, this account is only showing 2 transactions, which is bad. All right, so let's get all the accounts, try to search. Okay, so now the moment I just pick all accounts, you can see different. Okay, so I have now 16 pages. So now if I want to copy this information, I have to, when I copy the way it is by default, the moment I just click on copy, and then if I try to paste either in Excel or Word, it's only going to you are only going to see the 10 transactions, not everything. But in the actual sense, you have you selected you picked almost everything, which is for the month of January for all the cash books, which is not supposed to be only 10 transactions. So now what you have to do here is you have to come back to where it is showing 10, this part here. So now from here, I'll pick, let's say this is okay. So I want everything. So I'll say all. So the moment I just select all, it's going to now show me every transaction which I was trying to search. So now these are all the transactions which I was trying to search. Okay. So now this time when I try to copy, let me try to copy once more. That's okay. I'll go back to my Excel and then try to paste. All right. I'll use this one. Okay. So these 2 columns, which, or let me just say 3 columns, which is print, update, and cancel, you can just delete them. Okay. Like that. If I want to keep this column, you can still keep it. Let me just resize this a bit. Okay, this account. All right. So now this is a summary. This is a summary receipts. So you can do the same thing to payments or expenditure. So now I have a number of transactions. So now from the same, I can now start doing whatever I want. So now from here, if I want to add filters, I can still add filters. It's now separate from the normal system. Okay. So let's say now I'm working in Excel. If I do the changes from here, it's not going to affect anything on the system. Okay. So let's say this is Moinse. Okay. Only one transaction. Good. I'm sure now everyone knows how to copy the summary receipts and payments. Okay, so now this is just by list. If you want to go by reference, it's up to you. You do the same thing, which I've demonstrated on the first page. You can do the same thing to these other reports, which is by reference, by program, by collection center. It's up to you. Okay. So now again, the other thing which I've seen people might not maybe know on how to use the system is on the budget. Mind you, this system doesn't just pick any chart of account. It considers your budget. So every year when it comes to budget, you sit and make a budget, and then you send the same budget, and then we utilize the same budget and then upload the same budget that you have sent on the system, so that as you start receiving money and making payments, you'll be comparing against your budget. So as you make payments and receiving income, even the budget will still will start adjusting itself. So when you go on budget, and then you should see at least figures. So we can tell to say, okay, this is the income. So this is how the budget sits. So income, it will start like this. So income starts. So this is the program name, which is property rates. So under property rates, there are a number of activities. So we have residential and commercial. So according to this budget, which I'm using as a demo, so residential, they budgeted for 123.88 kwacha. And so far, they have received nothing. Okay. Now, when we take a look at this other activity, which is commercial, they budgeted 3 million. And then so far, they are supposed to collect. This is the, I can just say, estimated. So this system, it's a kind of smart. So it does the estimate to say, okay, if your budget is this much for the whole year, how much can you collect per month? If it's 2 months, if it is 6 months, how much? So this is the estimate for the 6 months. So if you multiply this number by 2, it should give you the annual budget, because this is half of the budgeted amount. Okay, so now this is the budgeted amount, and then the flexed budget, and then to date actual. So how much have they collected from January up to date? So this is how much they have collected. So it will give you all the details depending on what you have imported. Okay. So we go to the next program, which is a personal levy. So under personal levy, there is only one activity. Under personal levy program, there is only one activity, which is personal levy. When we go to fees and charges, there are a number of things. So there is notice of marriage fees, other fees and charges, consent fees, change of premise use, search fees, market fees, penalty fees, telecommunication sites, and parking fees, loading fees, and this is a hire hose, refusal, diffuser disposal, penalties, survey. Okay, a number of things, billboards and banners, hire of transport and equipments. So we also have this other program, which is licenses, liquor license, firearm. So as you keep on receiving money, you should also keep on taking a look at how is our budget. For now, the system is not that smart to tell you to say, okay, you have overspent as you are posting the transaction. But that I think that that functionality is still we are still working on it. So in the future, or maybe if we are lucky by next year, it might be there, whereby as you are posting, it will also keep on telling you as a user who are using the system to say, okay, sir, you have overspent on this activity, or you have over collected on this program. Okay. So this is the receipts or income up to here. So the budgeted amount for all the programs under revenue, it was 93 million. And then from there, it will also estimate how much you are supposed to collect for all the programs. So this is the grand total for revenue budget. And then so far they have only performed a 4.91%, which is at least a bit low. All right. So now when you start the expenditure part, it's also one and the same thing. Okay, so this one, I think it's just something that has to do with my budget upload. But never mind, this is nothing. So the activity for the program for expenditure starts from here. So we have constituents development, which is CDF. So under constituents, they have segmented these programs in like this. So we have what we call community projects. So every project, which is construction, or maybe if it is rehabilitation, if that money is coming from CDF, you have to post every project against this code or this program or this activity, I mean. So every construction, rehabilitation, any construction has to go, provided that same construction is a community one and it's a CDF project. You have to post against the community projects. Okay, so under community projects, according to the budget that I have, it was budgeted as 34 million. Okay, and then when we come to women and youth empowerment, so these are grants. So grants, it has got its own segment. So women and youth empowerment, when those guys get grants, you have to post the same against the women and the youth empowerment. And we also have what we call CDF administration. You know this one, guys. And then the other thing is secondary schools and secondary school and skills development bursaries. So all those who are going to maybe, let's say, trade schools, yeah, just to get the skill, and those who are doing boarding schools, those who are in boarding schools, if they want to get a bursary, they have to go under secondary school and skills development bursaries. So all those payments that has to do with the bursaries, you have to post them against this code. Okay, so now if you want to get the only CDF from the system, you can still do that. If you want to remove, let's say, everything, like I said. So from here, you can just, let's say, if I want to get only for January, or let's say I want to get to see what we did in January, I just have to put one there and then I click on search. Okay, so now when you take a look at this column, which is January, but it was June. So this column will keep on changing depending on what month number you have put on the month number there. So the moment you just press search button, and then this month is going to change. It's going to tell you, okay, sir, you are looking for January receipts and payments. So if I want to copy this, I can still copy. And then if I want to extract exactly this part for CDF, I can still do that. I'll just copy after pasting it in Excel. I can delete everything and remain with the CDF only, and then do the report. As simple as that. Okay, so now we go to these other normal programs. So we have got local governance and integrated development planning. So this has to do with the planning department, economic and business development, and then public health and environmental protection. We also have housing and community amenities, and recreation, culture, and religion. Education and skills development, social protection, public order and safety, management and support services, resource mobilization, and management. So all these are programs and their activities. All right. So this is how good the system is. So now again, I know people, they might have the system, but without the knowledge of on how to use the system, you can even try, you will not know where to maybe get the reports and all that stuff. So this is the overall receipts and payments. So this report, it will just give you it will give you almost everything. But again, if you want to go further, let's say I want to trace, or I want to take a look at the same data that we are dealing with. So let's say if I want to know how much we have collected for I'll give an example of market fees. Okay. So I want to know how much we have collected from the market. Okay. So I know that this is our budgeted amount, which is 295,800 kwacha. That is for market fees. Okay. Now I want to go in details. I want to see every transaction on this activity. All right. That's not hard. So I'll just take a look at this. If you are familiar with the chart of account code, you can either search by the name or the chart of account code. It's up to you. So I'll go to where it is saying master file. So on the master file, I'll click on master file, and then I have to go on where it is saying ledgers. So under ledgers, I have to click on this button, which is ledger by account. So when I click on ledger by account, and then I should just type market fees. Or if I know the chart of account code for market fees, I can still type 152,013. It will still give me the same account which I'm trying to look for, which I'm looking for. So this is 152,013, which is the chart of account for market fees. So I'll pick that account and then click on process. All right. So now it's processing. It's getting every transaction on market fees. So this is what we have on market fees. So we can see that it's saying it's stating market fees, and then the budgeted amount, how much we have receipted so far, and what is the closing balance. Okay, so the date, description, the bank. So this bank, it's it will only show the last 3 digits number of your account. So it will show the last 3 digits of your account number. So the B, it's just standing for the bank. And then this is the account, the last 3 digits numbers of your actual account number. So the date, description, and then the bank, and then this is the reference, which is also the receipt number, and then the payee, and then the debit side. All right, so if you compare what is this amount, which is here, and you go to the overall receipts and payments, you should see the same figure, which is here, and then the balance as well. Okay, so you can do the same to these other reports. I hope you get it. Okay, so now let's go back. So let's say this is PDF only. So all these reports which are here, almost everything is PDF. But we are trying to do 1 or 2 things to see on how best we can do the same report into Excel. So in few weeks or in few months, you will see the version of Excel. All right, so I hope the video is helpful. So if you have any question, any concern, please try to comment on the same video and then try to share your thoughts on what you think, or you can also try to, because when you try to share your thoughts, we also use your thought to improve in areas where we are a bit behind. So your comments are very important to us so that we keep tracking on where we are behind, because mind you, us quite okay, we can develop, but in actual sense, we don't use the system daily. You as users, you are the very important people to the same system. So please make sure that whatever you think is helpful, you can try to comment, and then, or whatever you think is useful, you can try to share with us so that we take a look into that. Okay, thank you so much. Have a good day.